Shalom, Allah Sadabah, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles, and elders of great millstone, salutations to those for let this pushing this truth across the four corners of earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. Alright, so I'm one about back again, that's sitting. I just want to go into about, about the origin of Christmas, of, what is it really about. And, it's, found this, I won't say article, but like a website. It goes into about the history of it. It's history of history cooperative. So just want to go into about what really how Christmas came to be. Goes into like the origins and what it's about. Cause Christmas, has nothing to do with what you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites celebrating. It has nothing to do with y'all and y'all. But I said, so you so-called Negro, Latino is gonna keep on doing, it's, like I said, it's 2025. If you ain't doing your research, you ain't looking into why. What's the reason behind Christmas? What's the real reason? And like I say, is you just lost. But only the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites is gonna really come into the truth about the understanding of these how these false days, I call them false days, these days that are made up by these so-called white man Esau, Edomite devils, these elites and so forth, it has nothing to do with the Lord, it has nothing to do with the Bible, it had nothing to do with who y'all call Jeebus, or birthday being on the 25th, all that's a lie, which I'm getting to it. It's all BS, and a lot of you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, which are Israelites, need to, wake up and, stop participating and stop pushing it, but like I said, man, 2/3 Israelites, they gonna do what they gonna do. 2/3 is, they not gonna, even if you tell them, they still gonna do what they do. They still gonna try to push it and celebrate it, man. But like I say, it's all about the elect in these times and going forward that's going to wake up to the truth and stop celebrating these false days. But, so read some of this about the origins of Christmas. So it said the pagan origins of Christmas. Saturn, Nelia, Yule, and other pre-Christian traditions. All right. Now, this is like from last year to 2024, but it's still good, to, go into just about the origins. So the origin of Christmas can be traced back to the ancient Rome, Norse civilization. Civilization. In fact, 25th December was not even who y'all people call Jesus, the real name of Lord Yahushua. Date of birth. The early Christians appropriated what was originally a pagan holiday because it was covenant. Before that, the people of ancient Europe had celebration of the pagan god Saturn, even Odin, at the end of December to mark the shortest day of the year. Indeed, many of the Christmas traditions we have today come from these ancient festivals. Example of this included kissing under the mistletoe and decorating trees. So, like, hey, right there, and I'll just, just reading that, but this, just, they saying, like, this December 25th had nothing to do with who y'all call Jeebus' birthday. They try to push that, hey, because they push this that Jesus' birthday on the 25th, so that you can still do it. Have a mindset of, well, it's Jesus' birthday, we gotta celebrate. No. I tell you right there, it had nothing to do with who y'all people call Jesus. It's not his birthday, but on the 25th. Even the word don't even, the word of the Lord, the Bible don't even mention, like, his birthday. All that. It's just a lie and deception to keep you, going to keep the lie and deception going about Christmas. So you celebrate it and participate in it, and then in modern time, so buy stuff and buy a whole bunch of stuff that don't matter, and get a fake Christmas tree and decorate it and all that bullshit. Excuse my language, but it don't mean nothing. It's BS. It's a pagan holiday. It's about worshiping the sun, Saturn, the god of Saturn, right? So as I'm reading it, so it has nothing. It's not like, why is you even doing it? Like, it don't mean nothing. It's worthless, right? It's meaningless. Excuse me. It's meaningless. It don't mean nothing. It's meaningless. It don't mean anything, man. But I'm just gonna go to say, what are the pagan origins? Excuse me. What are the pagan origins of Christmas? The origins of Christmas are complex and intertwined, if I'm saying it right, with various cultural and religious traditions, including some pagan elements. While Christmas is primarily celebrated as a Christian holiday, commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, I hate saying the name, it coincides with the winter solstice and incorporates elements from pre-Christian traditions. So it's about like the winter solstice. It's BS, right? So like I say, I just read that first part of it up top. But it said the winter solstice of the northern hemisphere takes place on the 22nd December, the day when the Earth axis is tilted furthest away from the sun. It is the shortest day of the year. It is the shortest day of the year, and is meant to mark the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere. But it's also a time of hope, because the days begin lengthening again as spring is coming. Let's see. I'm gonna read this part here. A lot of people in the modern world may not even know that the winter celebration actually has nothing to do with the scriptures. Read it again. A lot of people in the modern world may not even know that this winter celebration actually has nothing to do with the scriptures and religion. They may be even more surprised to learn that Christmas celebrations, like decorating with holly, putting up Christmas trees, and kissing on the mistletoe, are roots ancient fertility rituals. So there's like a ritual, right? It's a fertility ritual. These all are symbolic acts to celebrate the fertility of the earth and its approach of the sowing season. So look at this right here. So it's like this picture right here. Who are the pagans? Who were the pagans? So you see that statue that got like a woman thing. It look like it, right? Like a woman worship thing. It's like, it is BS, man. Let me see. I'm gonna go down. I'm trying to just I ain't gonna make this too long. Let's see. It says, in the first few centuries of Christianity, the Christians wanted to spread their religion around Europe, but they were also quite fascinated by the religions that already existed. They knew that it would be difficult for ordinary people to completely divorce themselves from everything they had always known. This included the celebration of the winter solstice. They had to give the people something that was familiar and known. Given that Jeebus was born around the same time, it was easy enough to incorporate existing traditions in the celebration of the birth of Jeebus. So, they incorporated that, man. Like, well, this incorporated the birth of Jesus into, Christmas, and they, it is not, that's false. All this false lies and deception that they push, man. The so-called white people, Esau Edomites, these doubles, man. They push that lie, man. And our people, so-called Negro Latinos, just continue just participate in it and go along with it and push the same old bull BS every year. Instead of just saying enough, we're not participating in that. Stop spending your money on stuff that don't matter. Stop buying Christmas tree lights and all these gifts and stuff. Stop it. Enough. Wake up. But like I said, a lot of so-called Negro Latinos, they're not gonna do it. They stuck in what they stuck on. Their mind frame is what it is. They not gonna wake up. Only the elect of the so-called Negro Latinos are gonna wake up, man. The elect of the Israelites. 2/3 of the Israelites, they just gone. They in the darkness. They gonna be in that darkness till the wrath and destruction of the Lord Yahweh come down on America, Babylon the Great, But go from there. So it's a lot more on this. I'm just kind of jumping around. But you can check the article, the website out, the history of cooperative. Excuse me, the history of cooperative. You can check it out. The history of cooperative. Ugh, it's a come on my tongue wrong, but you can check it out. Check it out. Let's see. Oh, hold up. Go back up. Get off that. Okay, so they said, what was Yule? So other than Saturnalia, one of the festivals that had a huge influence on Christmas was Yule, celebrated largely by the Norse people in Northern Europe. Many of the old Euro traditions have become Christmas traditions today. The celebration lasts for 12 days and huge bonfires were lit. Feasting and drinking were a big part of celebrations. The night before Yule was called Mother's Night. The Yule tree was decorated around the time of the winter solstice, and a Yule log would be lit so that the families could feast and be merry by the fire all night. The Yule hymn was a huge aspect of the celebration since the boar was scared to the pagan god fire. The Christians have appropriate many of these traditions to celebrate Christmas. So it's like, okay, like I say, this is bull. Like I say, all this is, this paganism, this pagan ways, that was corporate push, the Saturnalia, the Saturn god of, where they go about, with this Christmas, they just pushed it on Christians or people that was following the Bible, the word, but it has nothing to it had nothing to do with the word of the Lord. It just they pushed that lie, out there, amongst the people that it's okay for you to celebrate Christmas and that the Lord who y'all call Jesus was born on December 25th, which the name of the Lord is Yahweh. But I say, man, like I say, it's BS, man. But let's see. So another important pagan holiday during the winter solstice was the birth of the Greek god Doni U S Doni US. If I'm saying it right, it might not be not pronouncing it right, but the Greek god of wine was celebrated with wild revelry, feast, drunkenness, and merrymaking over 12 days. His birthday was supposed to be on the 25th December. Uh, the festival was called Baccarat, Bacchanala, and was one marked by the wildness and excess. In Finland, the sun goddess Beulah was celebrated during this time. She was said to ride on a sleigh made of reindeer bones imported by a white reindeer. Perhaps she was a prosecutor to Santa Claus, a processor, to Santa Claus. Yeah, man. See, you know what I'm saying? Like this, this has nothing to do with the Bible, the Word, and I say our people. So you so-called Negro, Latino, Israelites. This has nothing to do with us. And we should not be participating, celebrating. This is bullshit. You know, these idols. You know what I'm saying? These idols, these idols. You know that these other heathen, nations, reverence. Had nothing to do with us. This is what Christmas is about. These so-called white people, Edomites, devils, whatever. These, heathen, people, they push this, they push that lie and deception that it's okay for you to celebrate Christmas and, and so forth, But all this has nothing to do with, us as, I'm talking about so-called Negro, Latino natives, we should not be celebrating Christmas, man. Really, we should be celebrating Hanukkah. But let's see. So I'm jumping around. Okay, so what's the Christmas tree about, right? Okay, it says, what does the Christmas tree symbolize? A huge part of modern Christmas is decorating Christmas trees. Modern Christmas trees probably originated in Germany during the Renaissance. The lighting of candles on evergreen trees in order to celebrate Christmas, and sometimes trace it back to the Protestant reformer Martin Luther. However, the Christmas tree has much more ancient predecessors. I'm saying it right. Let me see. Kind of go down. Let's see. I'm gonna read this part. So the Vikings and Saxons worshiped trees. Early Germanic folk tales about Saint Boniface and Dorner oak talk of how an evergreen tree grew in the place of the felled oak. The triangular shape was supposed to be reminiscent of the Trinity and an indication to look towards heaven. Thus, we can conclude that the Christmas tradition of setting up a tree is rooted in ancient pagan beliefs. Yeah, so it's symbolic, of like I say these pagan gods, it's like I said, rituals, and it's all like a setup like that, man. You know, worship these pagan gods, and like I say, it has nothing to do with the Lord of the Bible. And like I say, and you like I say, you have pastors and so forth in these churches or what it may be, or people that's out there. They know that Christmas has nothing to do with the Lord and so forth, but they still push it though. It's like they still a sellout. They still gonna be a sellout. They're gonna still push the lie and deception, amongst the kids and so forth. And I say, just come on, man. All right, but hey, got 2/3, Israelites say they gonna do what they do, right? They 2/3, they gonna be of the world. 2/3 Israelites, so-called Negro Latinos are of the world, and the elect of the so-called Negro Latino Israelites are not of this world, not of the mind frame of this world. Have woken up to the truth. That the apostles and the elders and the brother great millstone push. Let's see. So I'm not gonna make this too long. I'm trying to get to the point. Can't miss a tongue. Go to that. Santa Claus. Let's see. I'm going by Santa Claus, but let's see. I said it's Santa Claus and pagan concept. It's a modern Christmas celebrations are incomplete without Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a bastardized version of the name Saint Nicholas. The image that we are familiar with today was developed shockingly enough by Coca-Cola in the 1930s. Yeah, so I just want to read that part. Says it was Jeebus really born on Christmas. So I'm going to this. The simple answer is no. Jeebus, real name Lord Yahushua, was probably not born on 25th December. Easter was actually the main holiday of the early Christians in the first few centuries of Christianity. Jeebus' birth was not celebrated in the big way that it is now. The Bible does not even mention a specific date for the birth. Indeed, it was only in the 4th century CE that Pope Julius declared the 25th of December as the official birthday of Jeebus of Nazareth. Not only is the day of Jeebus' birth not known, historians can't even pin down his year of birth. It was probably between 6. I ain't gonna read it. See, but read this part right here. Some scholars have challenged the winter birth in the first place, arguing that shepherds would not have been grazing their flocks in the winter. Actually, research shows that it is most likely that Jeebus Yahushua was born in mid-April. So that right there, there you go right there. So just alone right here says, hey, that's BS. They tell you right there, no, the Jeebus, we all call Jeebus, Jeebus, the real name of Lord Yahushua, was not born on December 25th, not in the winter. I said that, around springtime. I ain't gonna say April, but just say like around springtime, spring coming. So that right there, right? Tells you right there, it's all lies and deception to push, for you to, go out and buy, and consume, and act a fool, get drunk, be foolish, just an excuse to act a fool, you know what I'm saying? Wear a funny hat and and play these same old stupid songs. And I hate these I hate these Christmas songs, whatever you want to call them. I hate it, man. I hate hearing this. And the Mariah Carey song, tired of that. The song In My Mind, I'm tired of hearing that song there. I just like, they keep just playing the same old BS Christmas music. It don't mean nothing, man. But let me see. I ain't want to make this too long, but let me see. Okay, yeah. So that's about it, man. I'm finna get some scriptures, back this up. It's on Colossians chapter 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach Yahushua. So hey, right there say beware. Hey, you gotta know what's the truth, man, what's not. You gotta know, these philosophies that's being pushed by these so-called white man, Esau doubles, the lies and deceit. You gotta check that. We in 2025, you gotta start researching and start checking stuff now, man. If you ain't doing that, you still falling for the okie doke. I don't know what to say. You just stuck in denial. You in denial, delusion. You stuck in it. It's like nobody. Even you might have people around you trying to tell, especially so-called Negro Latino you especially so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites, y'all, that still participate and still, do this and do that, buy gifts and buy trees and all this stupid shit. Somebody could tell you, hey, you can stop celebrating the Christmas and Thanksgiving and so forth, these false holidays, because it has nothing to do with y'all. It's not the ways of the Lord, and it's not the ways that you should be following the ways of the heathen. It's a heathen custom. It's a pagan custom, and it worships other gods. It had nothing to do with the Lord of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The Bible, the words of the Lord. Like I said, I just read, in Colossians 2:8, it said, beware, beware, of these philosophies, these lies and deception that the so-called white man Esau might push, these heathen customs, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with you so-called Negro, Latino natives, you Israelites to celebrate. You should not be participating. You should leave it alone. She ain't even pay it no mind. But go to the word right there, rudiment. So I'll go to, I think I saw it. So the word right here, rudiment, is a AI overview. Means basic principle elements, first things, often referring to elementary religions, teachings of worldly systems, elementary, like Jewish ceremonial law or pagan philosophies that are elementary, worldly, and can distract from Hamashiach Yahushua. So right there, right, is the AI overview of the word rudiment, right? Rudiments, is like I say these so-called white Edomite devils, man. They the devils, man. You know, I say they the ones in power. They push the lie. They push the lie and deception. You know, but the truth that the apostles and Ellsberg and Stone been pushing for years is, bringing shedding light of what really Christmas is about, and so forth, and exposing these so-called white people, East Side of my devils, who they are. They are the wicked, man. They are the wicked devils, man. They push that lie and deception out to you people out there to buy, consume, and and to believe this lie about Christmas and these other false holidays, man, that they push, man, that you participate in, that it has nothing to do. You should not. You so-called Negro Latino, you should not even be celebrating it. Like I said, not even giving no attention. But I say 2/3 Israelites, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They just they stuck in the delusion, man. They hear the truth, they just go, they tell them the truth about Christmas and the other holidays, these false holidays. They just, go one ear out the other. They gonna still do it and participate in it. But like I say, it's all about the elect, man. 2/3 Israelites, they gonna be destroyed by the Lord Yahweh being rebellious, and being in the mind frame in a worldly way, in the mind frame in the worldly ways of this world, the mindset of this world that the so-called white man East Sodomites, they are in power, that they push the lies and deception out there. They don't push truth, They especially don't put they especially don't push the truth of Lord Yahweh Shai. Only the apostles and Ellsberg and Millstone do. But I didn't want to make it too long, so I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. So, go from there. Jeremiah 10:2. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, it's a Most High, the Lord Yahweh, say, learn not the way of the heathen, hey, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Israelites, those are heathen customs, man. Hey, don't learn those. Hey, get away from that. Get away from those lies and deceptions of those false teachings. It's gonna lead you to destruction, man. Confusion. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Like you have these heathens. They be amazed of the eclipse and so forth like that, and things of the sky. Nah, hey, that is what it is with that. You should be not so like all in all of it, because if you know the word, you know that okay, the eclipse or whatever it may be, that's a sign of things that the Lord, that the Most High Yahweh about to bring down judgment, and so forth, But like so-called Negro Latino natives Israelites shouldn't be like these heathens, like these so-called white people, Edomites, man, and get away from them. But hey, like I say 2/3 they're gonna be in the mind frame of this world. Only the elect of the so-called Negro Latino natives are gonna wake up. But go to Jeremiah 10:3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cut of a tree out of the forest, in the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. So that right there is a Christmas scripture to not celebrate it. It's vain. It's empty. It don't mean shit. It don't hold no weight. You wasting time putting up a fake tree for the most part. Most of households got these fake trees that they buy from these stores. Put up these fake trees. Some of them got real trees. They put up they waste their energy and time, get a tree decorated and put up lights and just wasting money and time. Energy, just wasting your time and energy. Okay, what? Okay, what else with? Okay, what is this supposed to be symbolic of some type of what is supposed to be? What's the benefit of it? Like what? It's meaningless. It holds no weight, man. It's just it's stupid. It's stupid. It's foolish, man. It's like I said, the heathen ways are foolish, man. To the Lord Yahweh Shah. And that's why you so called Negro Latino should not be participating in it, man. You know? Go to Jeremiah 10:4. They deck it with silver and with gold, and they fasten with nails and with hammers, that it move not. So they put up these different decorations on the trees and so forth. Wasting time. Like again, like I say, wasting time and money. Just man, it's like wow, And like I say, I was in like when I was younger, and like I say, I was, but what I'm saying, when I came into the truth, I was younger, I was into all that, but when I came into the truth, and I woke up to it, and understanding more about Christmas and this and that, what it's about, it don't mean it's nothing. It's bullshit. It's a scam. It's a wasting time and money. And I say you running around, in the store and going crazy trying to buy stuff for people that you don't really care about, don't even certain family members or well maybe your friends, whoever may be that you don't even fool with throughout the most of the year. But come to that one time of the year, you gonna buy them gifts and smile on their face and say, "Here you go, Merry Christmas," and with that fake smile, knowing inside your mind, inside you, like you hate that person because of how they do you, treat you, whatever it may be, or whatever it may be. It just is it's bullshit. It's BS, man. It's funny, man. Like I'd be like, yeah, okay, here we go. Like just stop. Just be real. Let's be real, man. Like you wasting your time and energy doing this, man. Stop participating. Just stop it. Stop giving it your energy. And I'm talking about you so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are Israelites. Stop giving your energy to these false days, man. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's, Easter, all these, these false days that had nothing to do, about the word of the Lord, about your Israelites. It's days these days that we shouldn't give no energy to, no attention to. But let's see. But yeah, that's about it. I didn't want to make it too long. So that's like that goes to about Christmas, man. That the origin of Christmas is just it's lies and deception by these pagan it's pagan it's a pagan setup days of worshiping pagan gods, man. It has nothing Christmas it has nothing to do with the Bible, word of the Lord, and I say they just push that lie and deception out there to the people, man, so like I said earlier, so that you could buy and consume and waste your energy and time, into these into these holidays, false holidays, whatever, So I didn't want to make this too long. So again, I like it while I praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, to the apostle elders, to the Sisakan brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith, and Yahushua keep fighting. Let's say Shalom.